Hey, all you education volunteers out there. This is Matthew with Matthew's Botanical Garden. It's a rainy April day, so I can't go out into the garden and show you what I'm doing out there. But what I can show you is a plant press that I built. Pressing plants has been done for 500-600 years or so that I could think of. And the process hasn't changed at all in that time. You get your specimen, put it in between some paper that will absorb the moisture, and put something heavy on it. That's pretty much the process of pressing a plant. This plant press that I built, again, it was a cost-effective way for me to build a plant press. You could buy these pretty much anywhere that sells scientific tools. So for the plant press, as you could see, I made mine out of lumber that I had lying around. There's two sections in here, a top and a bottom. They're reversible, doesn't matter which one's the top or which one's the bottom. They're 1 foot wide by 2 feet long. So that's going to be my heavy object that I'm going to try to smush, that will be smushing the plants. You see I have some cardboard. That cardboard is from a bunch of Amazon boxes that I keep getting delivered for all my groceries and whatnot. You see that I have some tape, some newspaper, and tissue paper. So the process here is, so I'm going to take my tissue paper. I taped a dandelion to that tissue paper. From there, I will put another tissue on top of that. So that's our first level of moisture wicking material. So those Kleenex are going to soak up a lot of that moisture. From there, I'm going to take a newspaper and put my dandelion inside there. Close the newspaper up. So now sorry about that, man. It's kind of tricky doing that one-handed. So now that little dandelion it has a moisture barrier of the tissue paper. Now it has a double-sided moisture barrier of the newspaper. You could add more newspaper than the 2 sheets that I'm showing here. It's probably for the best if you could add 3, 4, 5, 6 pages per plant that you're doing. Again, that just gives it more wicking ability of that moisture. On top of the newspaper, I'm going to put a piece of cardboard on the top and on the bottom. Again, it's just acting as a moisture barrier. The cardboard is that corrugated cardboard, so it's got those little air pockets, so any moisture that comes up through the tissue paper, through the newspaper, the cardboard will start sucking into that up, and then that corrugated, those pockets in the corrugated cardboard, that'll wick out or any of the excess moisture that could be coming up. You can see that this particular cardboard I used this past summer for, I had an evening primrose and morning glory pushed in here. It's important to label it, what you're pressing, just so you know. So now we have our cardboard, Kleenex, newspaper hamburger per se. I'm going to place that mixture on top of one of my boards. Put the other board on top. And if I was done, I would then use my ratchet straps to ratchet it down as tight as I possibly can. If you wanted to add additional plants, you could continue that process. Let's just use our imagination here. Let's just say that there's a plant already in there. So then I would do the cardboard, come back over here. I'm pressing plants everywhere. I'm so busy. So here, again, just repeating that whole process until you get all the plants that you want to press in there. Put that down on top. And again, use the ratchet straps. You'll notice that I have these long pieces down here on the bottom. That's just to allow my ratchet strap not to press down on one particular part of the plant. So my ratchet strap, if I was going to do it, it's probably going to go right across here. All of that pressure from the ratchet straps are going onto the separated lumber pieces and not focused on a particular part of that plant. Another quicker way to do that, if you don't have the lumber and you don't really want to go through that process, let's go all the way back here to my dandelion I got pressed. You could actually just use some good old-fashioned heavy books, plop them on top of you, keep putting it on top, and it'll act the exact same way. Again, so inside, what that would look like, let's put my book down there. Side note, I knew that college literature class of reading the Iliad and the Odyssey would finally come in handy. So I have my tissue paper with my dandelion covered with newspaper. For space, I'll just fold that in half, put that on top of one book, put that on another book like so, and in a couple weeks you'll have a press plant. That is the quick and very, very cheap way of doing it. Or you can make it a little more elaborate and create your own out of lumber. I also heard, but I've never done this, I didn't hear it, I read it. I've also read that you could use wax paper. Yeah, so you take a plant, put it on wax paper, cover the plant with a second piece of wax paper, and then use a hot iron and iron that particular plant. And that will simulate this whole process as well. Never done that. Could be interesting to try. We'll see. So with that, again, I'd like to thank you. Hope everybody's doing well. And that was me showing you how to press a plant and showing you the one that I built. Take care. See you all soon. Bye.